Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
What's up, people? It's me, Adam Hunter. We got a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. Sorry for the delay. I've been on a cruise ship the past week, and I just had a crazy couple weeks, man. How are you doing, Sean? Great. All right, we're off to a great start. I can see you driving with your Rock Revival shirt, but it doesn't seem like there's internet. My internet's unstable. My internet. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, mine's fine. I'll tell you what I might be able to do. I've got a hotspot in here that I can turn on and see if that speeds up my internet. I didn't think about that. Why be prepared, right?
How are you, by the way? You look happy.
Yeah, that's what I definitely am happy of all things. No, I'm all right, man. I'm hanging in there. Just same old stuff, man. Just fighting with insurance companies, going to hospital visits, things like that. So I did finish my first ever solo podcast after recording it 17 times because I was unhappy with it, and then found out the audio was messed up. Then I got copyright flagged on my very first one because I was under the impression you could use videos as long as you didn't use the sound, and I didn't want to just have my giant face talking, you know, like MMA Roasted. So like I was like whatever I was talking about, I had like a video in the background, you know, with no audio, but no, they had like 7 copyright things on there. Everything, dude. If it's so, I'm gonna have to like be one of those guys pointing at the thing, like, you know how they do that in order to get around the copyright. So I'm gonna hire some idiot friend of mine to do that, and I'm just gonna put him on every video pointing up to the thing. That way I can get around their copyright bullshit.
Well, I'm happy you're doing it though, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. I was in Laughlin 2 weeks ago, which was crazy crowd. It's just like where people either go, they're ready to die, or they have a meth problem. Like, it's just
right.
Dude, I'm on stage and I'm like, there's like one show had like, I don't know, 30 people, but they were dying laughing, but they all knew each other. And I asked the girl, I'm like, so what do you do for work? And she's like, feet finder. And I go, what's feet finder? She's like, oh, I sell pictures of my feet. Right. And granted, with a guy that was a principal for a school. Right. And then some other guy goes, she's got gorgeous feet. I'd eat them right now. And it wasn't even her boyfriend. It was just some guy in the group. And I'm like, no, you won't. He's like, come here. So the guy starts sucking on her feet. Like, she's been walking all day long. And in the middle of the show, he starts like deep throating her foot. It's beyond gross. And I'm calling him like bunion breath, or he's got foot and mouth disease. Like,
that's she let him do it for free. I would think if you sell pictures of your feet, to put them in someone's mouth would cost more. Like, that's apparently.
They weren't even nice feet. Like,
good.
Yeah, it was. So that was like that was the opening night. That was like on Thursday night, and then it just kept getting. So then my friend's like, the comic there, like, hey man, I started doing comedy because of you. Blah blah blah. He goes, I live in this town about 30 miles by here called Oatman, and it's run by donkeys, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, man, they had a mining town. They had gold miners, and the miners had to close up the mines. So they released all the donkeys into town. So now there's donkeys everywhere. So I'm like, I got to go see this, right? So me and the other comic drive there. Dude, we're driving, and there's donkeys all over the road. Coming to your, like, and you have to go like 10 miles an hour, and they come right up to your car. They put their head in there. So now we're feeding them. Like, we don't have any food. We're giving them like granola bars and shit. They're putting their head all the way in, right? Dude, it's a straight up. All the stores had like Confederate flags, and like it was like thousands of Trump shirts, and they have a
town where the donkeys shop. They're the ones running the town. I would think they would have mostly carrots for sale there. That's what I would think.
Dude, they had baby donkeys there that had signs on their head said, "Don't feed me. I'm too young to eat." Because I went and got like $10 worth of donkey food, right? Because I'm like, oh, I gotta, So it was the place was, aside from the Confederate flags, the place was awesome, right? Like it was, they were like on T-shirts. There's a couple of them. I'm not gonna. It wasn't like, but it was unbelievable. As far as dude, it was one of the best. It was so much fun. They have a mayor of the town, right? And the mayor is a donkey. They voted a donkey. He's literally a monkey. He's and he has a mayor hat. He's got a hat on, saying he's the mayor. Hold on, I'll see if I can show you. It's in Oatman, Arizona. This place, one of the coolest places I've ever been to. Let's see. Hold on.
He probably couldn't do any worse than our politicians are doing, though. Really, like literally, if you just gave him multiple choice decisions to make for governing.
Dude, can you see? Hold on. Let me see. Can you see the this right here?
I see Instagram trying to come up.
Do you see?
Yes, you and the donkey. Is that you and the mayor?
Yeah. Dude, that was hold on. Fuck. It says I have a security code. Oh shit! I gotta type in. Okay, 90. And I
can't believe you met the mayor,
dude. It was. Hold on. It was one of the most fun places I've ever seen. Was this donkey place? And then they had like a jail you can go in, and they had like
donkey jail.
No, it was like an old school jail and like a courthouse. There was a huge turtle walking around, like a giant turtle. So look here, I'll show you. So that's me and the donkey came right to our thing. I was like feeding them. Yeah, see, hold on.
What are you
They all surrounded me.
He's terrified about it.
We are in Oatman, Arizona, and there's a donkey at my. Here you go, buddy. Here you go. How was it? Hey, was it good? How are you? There's a donkey. Trying to get some food. I've got some more food for you. Although here. Okay, so see, there's a huge turtle walking around. It was
that turtle, the sheriff.
Dude, it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I had a really good time at this place. I'm like going back there with my whole family.
How far was it from where you were going to begin with?
It was like 30 minutes from Laughlin. It's like an hour and a half from Vegas.
You drove 30 minutes to see donkeys?
Yes. I mean, running a town? I mean,
I guess if you get that opportunity, you have to.
Oh, 100%. I thought Don Fry tried to come on. And
I heard Don Fry went to that town for the Confederate flags. What I heard. That's what brought him there. So.
Don's running against the mayor. So then I was supposed to do Greg Gutfeld. So they flew me to New York to do Gutfeld, and I stayed up at the Hard Rock. And then the war started. Like the war started on that Saturday. So my episode got postponed. I'm doing it in 2 weeks. So I went to New York for, but I mean, I'm not going to feel bad for myself when I see people on TV getting slaughtered and raped and fucking butchered. And I'm like, oh, poor me at the Hard Rock, So, but man, it's crazy. We'll talk about that for a little bit. My dad has always told me, oh, everyone hates the Jews. People hate the Jews. People are anti-Semitic. And I'm like, Dad, that's not how it is. Nobody hates. Come on. I mean, it's 2023. And holy shit, man. I think my dad was right.
What's amazing is there's some Jews that hate themselves. Like, did you see the guys that stormed the Capitol? Not on the January 6th where they almost overthrew the government allegedly. But the people stormed the Capitol and had a sit-in, and it was Jews protesting against Israel. I was like, dude, what parallel universe are we living in? Where the Jews are protesting against themselves.
It's like the gays for queers for Palestine. People had a queer for Palestine, and I'm like, you understand what happens to gay people? You get thrown off buildings. Like they kill you over there for being.
They're self-hating gays for Palestine.
The gays have to go to Israel. And I tried to write a joke. I'm like, that's like The View for boners. It's just. But
it's a mess over there, man. What's crazy is I had heard, I don't know if it's true or not. I was always under the impression that Jews were all really tight with each other, and they would never fight with each other, like their whole community. I thought that's what they teach us growing up, in the redneck areas. No, but I heard that the Netanyahu guy who's in charge over there, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I'd heard that he was about to be ousted. Like they were wanting him out, and then now they're saying that he's taking advantage of that war because now he's saying that he can't be voted out during, wartime or whatever.
You could not support. I don't support like everything the Israel government does. I don't support everything our government does. There's definitely a lot of governments I don't support. But how could you support Hamas? And how could you support what they're doing? And how could you side with Hamas? I mean, they literally went around raping people, killing old people, going into these people were not armed. They didn't bomb a military base, which still wouldn't be good, but at least it's a military base. They're going to people that are not unarmed people having a good time at a rave, and you start shooting people and raping people. And then you got people like Jake Shields, who's a friend of mine. I've always liked Jake Shields, and I've always defended Jake Shields. I'm always like, Jake Shields is all right, man. Like, he's a nice guy. He helps people. He's a good trainer. He's a good dude. I have friends. But I'm like, Jake, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, he's retweeting Nick Fuentes, who's like a out and out fucking Nazi apologist, if not Nazi. And then like
he's not a Nazi, but he is sorry for them. he feels bad for him.
I mean, he's saying things like Jake wrote on October 17th, Israeli soldiers are a bunch of cowards. No, dude, any soldiers are not cowards. Instead of entering Gaza and fighting Hamas, like they are bombing hospitals full of already injured children. Okay, it was already proven that it was Hamas or another terrorist organization that bombed their own hospital accidentally. They're waiting for American soldiers to come fight for them. Like, bro, like, Jake, what are you doing? And look, I like Jake Shields. If Jake was here right now, we would hang out, we would talk. He's always been a good guy. But bro, what is going on?
If he was here right now, he would not recognize me for the 10th time. Even though I've hung out with him 10 times, he introduces himself to me every time he sees me. I'm like, dude, are you on drugs? Like I've hung out with you like 10 separate times. Dude, like, I don't know, man. It's obviously there's blame on both sides in that whole conflict, but there's not blame on what happened. There is a difference, man. There's a difference between fighting soldiers and fighting, you know what I mean? Like your occupiers or what they call them. Most of those people, I think the festival was a freedom festival, which is even worse, or whatever, a peace festival. And then that's what you attack. It's just, I don't know if you know the whole history. I assume most Jewish and Palestinian people do, but like you guys it goes all the way back, not you guys, maybe you included, but they all come from Abraham and Ishmael and Isaac, you know what I mean? So it all goes back. You're all related anyway, so it's
not that, but the government is run by Hamas. That's who's in charge of their government. And people that say, look, Israel has a right to exist. Palestine has a right to exist. They should both be separate countries. Like they should, and it seems like from what I'm reading and hearing that Israel wanted that, and they offered the land 5 times. They said, okay, here's this, that, but Hamas in their charter says they want death to all Jews. So they're not going to say yes. But you got to get
they're not going to be happy. The Hamas people, they're not going to be happy with anything but the elimination of Jews. Completely.
And they're the ones in charge of the government. But people are like free Palestine, but then you can't just give Palestine all the land. There'd be no Israel. And then what do you do with those 10? What do you do with those 10 million people?
The worst is that they both want the problem is too, the Temple Mount and stuff. They both want control of that because that's allegedly where who was it? I don't know. Someone almost sacrificed his son. Abraham almost sacrificed his son, is supposedly where that rock is, where the dome of the rock is, and all that. So they both want control of the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. I really hate it. Not for me, but I always wanted to go to Jerusalem, like really bad. Like it's the only place left that I want to see before I die. I mean, if I was really rich, I would see a lot of places, but I want to see at least that before I die. But it'll never happen now, man. Like it's I wanted to go to Egypt at one point to see the pyramids, and then like, oh no, it's really unsafe for Americans over there.
I had a tour. My tour that's supposed to go on got canceled.
Yeah, it's so
go next week.
What sucks is it's dangerous for Americans all over the world because of our shitty government. You know what I mean?
I had a 10-country tour. I had a 10-country tour. Russell Peters, 10 countries, and it just got canceled. Like it's done. Like they're gonna have to. But listen, I mean, I would love for Palestine to have their own country. And live in peace. I love Bilal Muhammad. He's a fucking great guy. I have nothing against, I want both countries to have their own, their own country. And if it takes obviously getting the settlements, get Israel out of the West Bank, sure. Like they, go ahead, give them the settlements out, just peace. That's all I want.
And neither side, I think, will ever be happy until the other side's gone. I think that's the goal. Deep down, I think that's the goal. Neither will be happy until the other side's completely gone. And when you're radicalized like that.
Now that it's summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny, active days. I know I am, okay? And Factor, which is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Not number 2, #1. It can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals, okay? Are you too busy with summer plans to cook? I am. It takes me forever to cook, and I ruin the meals. But I want to make sure that I'm eating well, and so should you. Well, with Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning, okay? While still getting the flavor and the nutritional quality you need. Factor is fresh, never frozen. Ew. Their meals are ready in just 2 minutes. That's right, 2 minutes. Although when I do stuff in 2 minutes, my wife complains, okay? But not with Factor. All you got to do is heat and enjoy, and then get back outside and soak up this warm weather. Vitamin D, all right? Looking for calorie-conscious options this summer? You can try the delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. That's nothing. You burn that off, I don't know, jogging, all right? You need an extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer? I do. We'll try the Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein. Hell yeah. Get rough. Look at these guns, people, all right? So check it out. Check out Factor. Head to factormeals.com/roasted50 and use code roasted50 and get 50% off your first box. That's half off your first box. That's code roasted50 at factormeals.com/roasted50 to get 50% off your first box. All right. Check it out. You're going to thank me later. I got this cute dog. She's teething right now. But she's adorable. All right. No more biting. You got to get some chew toys. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and check out Factor right now.
You're not gonna. It's funny because you talk to someone Palestinian, and they'll be like, if you had any idea what the Jews do, and you talk to someone who grew up in Israel. I used to know a girl that grew up in Israel. It's like, if you had any idea what those Palestinians do, you know what I mean? And both sides think they're right. So it's like, you're not going to, when it's to your very core, you believe that you are the rightful owner of that land. I don't think it's gonna, just luckily the Native Americans didn't fight back against us too hard, because we'd still be doing that today in the United States, if not.
But all these people that are like saying, they're like people that have no idea, like that porn star Mia Khalifa, who gave a blowjob in a hijabi, she would last 9 fucking
it's like a lot of work.
She would last 9 seconds over there before they. Yeah. But she wrote, turn the phone this one so that way we could see. And now somebody had a really funny thing in the tweet. They go, she's the only one with a bigger body count than Hamas.
Right. Yeah. Good Lord. Yeah.
That's a great.
And probably correct.
Great joke. Anyway, so since we have been gone, there's been a lot. So Conor McGregor. So there's no more USADA. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that whole thing cracked me up, man.
So the USADA and the UFC are no longer together. They're saying it's because of McGregor. UFC saying it's not because of McGregor. They're going with a different thing. It's called clean drug program or something. Or
it's the same program that runs the NFL, so I'm sure it'll be very strict. Because really? Everybody in the NFL is on steroids. I talked to a couple guys. I think I told you this before, but they tell you in the NFL. I was talking to a couple of, I don't want to say their names, but I was at the same resort as them in Florida, and they told me that the NFL, your random drug test, you get a 9-month notice. Like, by the way, October 2024, you're going to have a random drug test, so make sure you're not on steroids then. It's the whole thing's a scam. I think they should just quit. Let the athletic commissions do it and forget it, man. You know what I mean? Just let them just get rid of it. It's ridiculous.
Well, now, I mean, since that, have you seen what happened? The beef between Gordon Ryan and Johnny Eblin?
No, I know. I don't know who Johnny Eblin is, but I know Gordon Ryan was in Logan Paul's camp, and he I know Ryan admits taking steroids and doesn't, and he says they're not illegal in jiu-jitsu, and of course I take them, so I don't
Right.
know
So
what the problem would be.
he posted, finally, people are going to want to watch it. It's going to be much better, this and that. Johnny Eblin, who's undefeated in Bellator, arguably never lost a round. He's a champion. He goes, not that I'm trying to stir up any unwarranted drama. Yeah, of course. But Gordon Ryan just stated that MMA should allow athletes to be on steroids because it would supposedly make it more entertaining. Hey, bro, there's a reason your health sucks. And it has a lot to do with you wanting to be an entertainer. Athletes are humans too, and there's a life after fighting. Steroids and other performance enhancers destroy the possibility of a good functioning life as you age. You took that shit, and now you're stuck. And you want to bring the rest of us down with you? I really hope MMA organizations can see an obvious set of liabilities that come from more brain damage and body damage when athletes retire. One thing is taking steroids when you grapple. Another one, you're getting punched, kicked in the face. How can you consider being the GOAT? In order to train, you have to be on steroids. You tell me the guy on the right would know what he knows about grappling and not been on the sauce? Don't get me wrong. Dude's amazing what he does. Really can't do anything without steroids. And then he posted a picture of him. Have you seen the picture of him before and after?
Yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah. Sean, you seem to be an expert at this. What are your thoughts on what he said?
I'm pretty sure Gordon Ryan would beat anyone in jiu-jitsu with or without steroids. That's not, if it was that simple, every bodybuilder would dominate grappling. You know what I mean? Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Obviously, he's going to have more endurance, be stronger and bigger. But if other guys can do it, it's not cheating. If everybody's allowed to do it, it's not, it's not against the rules, not cheating. If he's talking about not bringing him into the UFC, well, I thought it was unfair when I was in the UFC that I had a medical condition that made my body doesn't produce testosterone anymore. And it's not from taking steroids. It literally, I started at 25 years old taking testosterone because my body doesn't produce it. So you would say if I wasn't taking them, everyone else had an unfair advantage because I didn't have any testosterone. You know what I mean? I'm not allowed to take a medicine, basically. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not allowed to take something that my body needs. So I had to cycle off ahead of time. By the time I went to cut weight, I felt terrible because I had to be off my testosterone for a month in order to pass the test that never came. I always thought there was a test coming, but it never did. So I would have no testosterone when I would go to fight. I would have no testosterone leading up to the fight for a month and feel horrible, like absolutely horrible, and then have to cut weight and go in and fight. And then I found everybody had TRT exemptions except me, like even guys that were 21 years old in the UFC had them. But then they outlawed it. They outlawed it when I went to try to get one. But yeah, it's dude, you're never going to stop steroids. The guys who can afford to get the good stuff, the chemists, not to out anybody, but Bob Sapp was telling me about peptides in 2013, which is peptides are the newest thing everybody's taken. Bob Sapp told me in 2013 that it was better than HGH, and everyone I knew had never even heard of it. You know what I mean? I guess he knows a lot of people in Thailand, like Bob Sapp does, and he knows like that's where a lot of guys go. But you're not going to stop it. There's untraceable stuff. They can microdose. People are always going to be doing it. Conor McGregor, I think he should have taken steroids to heal. Like, absolutely, he was on them, and I think he just took advantage of, well, while I'm taking this to heal, I might as well put some muscle on, But they don't make that much a difference. Athletically, it helps, but it's not a world of difference. You're not going to become John Jones taking steroids. You know what I mean? Like, it's they'll take an average guy. He's not going to become a great fighter just because of steroids. It's like anything else. You know what I mean? You can take a guy who's not an athlete and give him every steroid in the world, and he's not going to be that much better an athlete. Right. Like, it's just helps you. Like, you can train longer, you recover faster. But I liked it for recovery. Was my thing, man. I wasn't as sore. I got like HGH especially. I didn't sleep as much. I wasn't as sore. I just felt great physically. So. Well, I don't know, but they're never going to stop it. So.
I like the idea of it not being legal just because it's just, I don't think that people should be pressured to take them, Right. I just wonder the NFL, like, how are they, if guys think those guys are bench pressing coming into the NFL, a 21 or 22-year-old kid's bench pressing 600 pounds naturally, it's not happening. You know what I mean? These guys that are just absolutely shredded at 22 years old, like, 280 pounds shredded, like, that's not natural. And that's not, and you certainly can't do it. You watch BS High?
No, I haven't had a chance to do it yet, man. I've looked for it actually. What platform is it on? Because when I searched,
it's on Max, HBO Max.
HBO Max. Okay, yeah, no, I still need to do it. I told my girlfriend about it, and she actually wanted to watch it. She thought it sounded so ridiculous that she was interested. So
it's crazy. You're gonna be shocked. So
I looked on Netflix for it, and I think I looked on the other. I don't remember what the other one is that we have, but I didn't see it on either one.
So we got to talk about a lot of stuff, but the Jake Paul, Dylan Dennis debacle, because I was so excited did you see the lead up was great. when he brought out
Yeah.
when Logan brought out not Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis. When he brought out Chris Hansen.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was a great idea. Yeah,
that was hilarious. And then he got hit with a microphone.
Right.
Like, how is that not assault with a weapon? I mean,
and how was he able to fight with a cut on his face still? Like, it's just like they just threw all the rules out for this fight. Like, no, he's got a cut on his eye. It doesn't matter. He can still fight. Like it.
Then the fight itself, Dylan threw 9 punches. I think it was 9 punches. What was that? Like,
dude, this I talked about this on my podcast or whatever. This stupidity where you think your opponent's going to get tired from punching you is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, you don't get tired. I can hit a heavy bag for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get, when there's no threat of a punch coming back, you're not wearing the guy down. Like, you're not, he can stand there and just punch you. There's no threat of retaliation, no threat of a counter, nothing. You could relax. You could tell Logan Paul could relax because he had no threat of getting swung back on. And they're like, Dylan Dennis's corner's like, oh no, that was our plan. That was your plan to let him get punched for 5 rounds. It comes from Rocky 3, man. Like when Rocky was like, come on, you ain't so bad. He's just going to sit there and like, that doesn't help.
It seemed like Rocky 1 where he's like, all I got to do is go the distance and I win. I'm like, dude, Logan Paul is not fucking Lennox Lewis. Like
right.
Like we're celebrating not getting knocked out by Logan Paul. That's a victory now. Like, how low has the bar? Anyway.
He didn't even try. He didn't even throw anything. That's what I don't understand. If you come in to fight, he wasn't tired. Like, it is like he's too exhausted to. I think he was afraid of getting knocked out and embarrassed. So instead, he'd rather get embarrassed for throwing 9 punches in 6 rounds. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Well, if you're there, you might as well fight, man. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be embarrassed either way. So
Crystal Pittman, you're on here with former UFC superstar Sean McCorkle. We have a BKFC fighter. This girl, by the way, is a badass. I watched some of her fights. Talk about brawl. She just goes forward the entire time. She goes forward and wings. Crystal, how are you? Crystal? I can see her. Hello, can you see me? You can't hear me. Yeah, we're talking to you. Yeah. So
might have to re-sign on or something.
Okay, well, that was Crystal Pittman. So yeah, I don't understand. I mean, and then Logan goes on Piers Morgan afterwards. Look, I mean, Dylan went on Piers Morgan. Even Piers Morgan was like, "What was that? That was the worst fight I've ever seen." You landed
when Piers Morgan is criticizing your fight, you know you've hit an all-time low.
You landed more
Piers Morgan was like, "What was that supposed to be?"
I said he lost 3 sports in 6 rounds. He lost the wrestling match, jiu-jitsu, and he lost the boxing. Do you think anybody told him when he was sparring, like, you look good?
I think his plan the whole time was to just make it. I don't know. I think he was trying to get, even when he threw the microphone, I think he was trying to get it called off. I don't think he has any interest in boxing anybody. And he can forget fighting in the UFC. He's talking about fighting in the UFC. Like, dude, Logan Paul beat you up badly sparring boxing. You're not a UFC level striker. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't a UFC level striker, and I would knock Logan Paul out if I boxed with him when I was back in those days, easily back in those days. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a good boxer. He's not nearly as good as his brother. So
Crystal, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I'm sorry. I had to go out and leave because you guys, I couldn't say anything. I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, here we are. We're here with the beautiful Crystal Pittman. She's a bare knuckle boxer, and your fights. I watched some of your fights last night. They're crazy. You just go forward the entire time. What's your background in fighting?
So I'm actually pretty new. I started pretty late in my career, probably around 29, 30 is when I actually really started. And I did an AMI, a couple AMIs, and I did smokers and stuff. But when it came to pro, I did just enough, and I went straight into bare knuckle because I thought that this is where I need to be. So I just went 100% all for it. And I love every single second of it.
How do you go right into bare knuckle? Like, how did you get the offer? How did you find out about it?
So it was during COVID, and I had a real straightforward goal. Like, I wanted to make my pro debut by the time I was 35. I dropped everything to just kind of put everything I had into my training and try to get as far as I could, and dedicate my time and not put it on the back burner. So my goal was to make my pro debut by the time I was 35, and COVID happened, and I was gonna be 35 that year, and I was like, man, and I got COVID too, and I was like,
well, so the sound out. I can't.
Adam Hurd and I have something in common. We both waited till we were 29 to start hitting women barefisted.
Oh, wow.
okay, I heard barefisted. What?
Nothing. Okay, so
no, I got to repeat it. I said we have something in common. We both waited till we were 29 to start hitting women barefisted.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so bad.
So you start. So you're 35. You get COVID. That's why we lost you.
Oh yeah, I ended up getting COVID, and I was like, oh, maybe maybe it'll still happen. I'll just keep working. Hopefully COVID didn't fuck everything up. I had some injuries that were really shitty for MMA because I was training MMA and Muay Thai and stuff. So anyway, COVID was still going, and BKFC I saw running, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're still, doing their fights. They're still showing their fights. And I just instantly connected with BKFC. I did a lot of history on it, and I learned about it. So I was like, oh my God, this is exactly where I want to be. So I just first somehow, Mike Richmond, I met Mike Richmond, and he got me connected through a man. Huh?
Where'd you meet Mike?
Where did I meet him?
Yeah.
So we actually met at his fight. What was it? April 30th, 2020. Was that 2020? But I didn't actually meet him. I met him from somebody I knew, and they kind of connected. And so I got connected with BKFC and ended up signing my pro contract my 35th birthday.
Wow. So Sean, her first fight, her eye was falling off. The guy's like, it was a good fight. She was landing some great punches, but your hand was dropping a little bit. But that was your first fight. But her eye, Sean, when I say it was like and then they interview her, so they stopped the fight going into I think the fourth, but it was a very competitive fight. And then she's like, this was the most fun I've ever had. I love this. I was like, dude, this chick is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Most of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you did, but that was a great fight. So now you're 2-3. But your fights they're always bangers. Are you gonna keep this style of just go forward and just brawl, or are we gonna get more slick?
Yeah, well, my last fight was not just all brawl. I mean, I did it. It's definitely changed a lot since I've changed teams. I moved out here to Florida to become part of a really good combat team. So I've grown a lot. I'm very, very have evolved a lot since my obviously my first fight, but really getting to know how to be more slick, how to head movement, all that stuff, keep my hands up. We're really, really working on all that stuff. So, all the girls that I fight it doesn't matter if they're making their pro debut in BKFC, they're always going to have more experience than me because they have a big amateur background, right? And probably pro background. So, I'm literally growing with the sport. So it's, I've definitely am growing into my style, and I'm growing into being very aggressive, but also being very slick, elusive movement. So it's just, it's learning as I go.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's entertaining as hell, and you got balls of steel, and you're tough, and you have heart. Yeah. You have heart. You can't teach heart. That's the one. You can't. You're not a quitter. You're from Fresno?
I am from Fresno, yeah.
My wife's from Fresno. That's why I asked.
Oh, is she nice? Yeah.
Are you from Clovis area, or?
I am Clovis. I'm a Clovis girl. Born, raised Clovis girl.
And then you were training in Visalia, right? Is there a lot of good bare knuckle boxing gyms in Visalia?
No, there's not. I mean, I think there might be a couple. I started traveling out to Visalia because of I heard they were like the best Muay Thai gym out there. And I didn't really know any places to go out in Fresno, so I was just like, okay, I'll just go out there. So I ended up staying out there, but no, I don't think it's any different than, a lot of places out in.
So did you grow up like on a farm and stuff?
I actually do have family that have like a big ranch and all that. So like I'm a country girl at heart.
You don't, because I look at you and you got the tats and the beautiful face and the boobs. Like I don't think like farm girl. So
I'm all do farm girls not have breasts? I don't understand that comment.
I don't know. But no, this is not a real anyway. So I was just saying. But that's all. Now you're in Miami, or you're at Boca, or what gym are you at?
We're in Tampa, so
nice.
It's really nice because I'm fighting. Last time we fought in Lakeland, we fought. Now this time we're fighting in Orlando, so it's really cool to be able to fight locally. I will travel obviously still, and I love traveling for the sport, but it's cool when they have a Florida because they're not out in California, so I can't fight in California. But it'd be really fucking cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Are you at Mike Perry's gym?
No, I don't know where Mike Perry trains.
Because I heard he was at in Tampa.
Oh, is he? Oh, probably for his upcoming in December.
Yeah. That card, by the way, have you seen it, Sean? It's Mike Perry.
No.
Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez.
Oh, I didn't know that was actually going to happen. I knew they talked about it, but I didn't know it was actually going to happen.
Which is like not even in the same weight. I mean, it's a great fight, but isn't Perry like 84 at like 70? And
yeah, 85? I think he struggles to make 70, so it'd be Eddie Alvarez moving up quite a bit. So.
And then Ben Rothwell versus Todd Duffy is on the card.
Yeah,
Duffy doesn't pull out.
Yeah, I mean, I like Duffy, but that's a tough fight in your bare knuckle debut against Ben Rothwell. That dude is like fucking made for this. And then it's Rowdy Mack versus Christine Fajea again. The whole card's great. That's a great card.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really, really good card, and they're having it in Utah. So
I don't know who is funding them, but they are putting together a lot of MMA promotions are paying crazy money now. So maybe there was always money in it and I didn't realize it. But it's if you see some of the purses, man, if they offer even at George Masvidal's Game Bread Bare Knuckle, it'll be like a preliminary card pays 12 and 12, like preliminary spot, more than the UFC pays. It's crazy.
Have you seen that next card, by the way, the Bare Knuckle? It's
for Game Bread?
Yeah, for Game Bread. It's Roy Nelson. It's Roy Nelson versus Alan Belcher.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like the whole card is and Hector Lombard's on the card, and Trinaldo's on the card. And then what's his name? That guy Hick Diaz is on the card. That guy, that crazy guy, that did the Ultimate Fighter. You know what I'm talking about? The dude. He's got like 3.
I know you. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about, but I can't remember his name. Is it Jason?
Jason Knight. Yeah, Jason Knight.
Jason Knight. Yeah.
That's a great card too. 100%. So
I'll probably watch it.
So are you married? You have a boyfriend? What's going on?
Yeah, I have a boyfriend. That's Jared. He's with BKFC as well.
Oh no.
So he's actually getting ready for his next fight for the UK. We're going over to the UK for his. It's going to be awesome.
That's awesome. And you guys met at you met at a BKFC event?
Yeah, we did. It was at in Miami, and then we met each other, and then we kind of just really, really, really clicked, and we've been together for like a year and a half.
Jared who?
Jared Warren, Captain Deadpool. Yeah, he just recently fought on July as well with Josh Dyer. Josh Dyer did an illegal blow to the back of the head, so it went no contest, and that was for the title. But so hopefully they'll rematch that, or he'll get another opponent for a title. But this time, this isn't for the title, but we're going over to the UK and going to fight a undefeated fighter over there. Yeah, it's going to be so cool. I'm so excited because I've never been over to the UK, so it's going to be awesome.
Now, I see that you're sponsored by OnlyFans, right? You have OnlyFans all over. And now I don't, I'm not a member of OnlyFans just because me and my wife share a joint account. and she'd probably be like, "What is this? What is going on?" I'd be, you know.
You guys share a joint OnlyFans account?
Yes, we share a joint fucking checking account. So she would see that, be like, "What's an OnlyFans bill?" And then I'd have to explain to her. But what type of like client do you get? Guys asking for weird shit? What kind of things that so someone joins your OnlyFans? Is it you training, or are guys like sending me topless pics? What goes on?
No, I mean, I always make sure to state that I'm a sponsored athlete, because no matter what, you know, my fighting comes first, and that has been a great way to connect with fans that want to come over there. I really just, you know, I do a lot of training videos. You know, me and Jared, we actually have our one together, so we do some spice stuff. It's fun. We just have fun with it. So
hold on. What spice stuff?
Spice, like we get some spicy stuff. Yeah, like, you know, just some fun stuff. I'm not gonna tell you what's on there because it's a paid wall.
Okay. All right. So you guys have like sex videos on the OnlyFans?
No. What do you think I am?
I have no idea. I thought it was a spice. I thought you would a spice stuff is like. Okay, all right. So I'll let guys use your imagination.
What's up? You know, and there's a difference between saying spicy and saying porn. We don't do sex. I didn't say sex videos.
Well, because I saw someone sent me a picture of Paige Van Zandt and Austin's thing, and now I've seen his penis now, and I didn't want to see his penis.
Yeah,
and now, but. Like his penis was next to her, and I guess it's cute that they're a couple, and it's nice that they're showing that they like each other. But now I can't look at him without thinking of his cock. So yeah.
Well, before you were just thinking of his ass all the time.
Right. I guess it just depends on how you look at him after seeing his cock.
Not that good, to be honest. I think I looked at him a lot better before seeing his cock. It wasn't hard, so it was like I don't know. Anyway, you gotta.
Well, that made it better for you.
Probably, honestly, if I'm being honest, if it was bigger, I'd be like, oh well, I can see what she sees in him. I mean, I'm just more than that. But anyway, yeah. So all right, well, you have spice stuff with your boyfriend. That's good. Now, do you have any kids or no?
Yeah, I do. I have a son, but I like to keep him very private. But I do have a son. He's my best friend, and he stays over in Cali right now, and I go back and forth between fights and stuff because I just didn't think it was fair to continuously just drag him everywhere with me. I have to train so much, so I was just trying to think what would be best for him and in school and friends and stuff. So.
Well, you got to be the coolest mom. Your mom, I never heard of someone's mom's a bare knuckle fighter. I mean, that's pretty damn badass. Most moms are or in, librarians or something. So
he loves it. Yeah, he always shares with his teacher and his friends, and he's like always like telling his friends that his mom fights on TV and she's fighting on TV soon, and he always shares posters. So it's really cool for him. He really, really likes it. Like it's awesome because, I've always wanted to make him so proud, so it's so huge for me to be able to give him to be, something proud of. So,
well, I mean, I love, now where can people follow you?
The Rugged Beauty, on my Instagram. I mean, you can just type in Crystal Pittman and I'll pop right up.
And your next fight is when?
It's November 3rd, so we're 2 weeks out. I'm really, really excited for this fight. So,
who are you fighting?
Jordan Ralston. This is going to be her debut with BKFC, so I get to welcome her into the ring. It's awesome.
And the fight is where?
It's going to be in Orlando at the Orange County Convention Center, I believe. And Mr. Olympia is actually going to be that same weekend at the same convention. I don't know if you guys follow the bodybuilding stuff, but.
And then and then are you the main event or?
I believe I'm feature or somewhere on the main card, but we have our teammate Dave Mundell is defending his title. So he's fucking badass. All the guys that I train with, I mean, I feel like they're just so badass. We're just like, I just see them. I'm always so proud of them. They do so good. Yeah, so it's gonna be a good fight.
You gotta I never had a bare knuckle fight. Oh, I've had fights, but I really don't know what I'm talking about. But my advice is this on your fighting. You get in great, but you don't clinch. Hold on to her and then punch her. Because you sometimes you let these girls go. You know what I'm saying? Like you're so good at punching people, but sometimes they get away. So we gotta
clinch her up.
Yeah, we gotta grab onto her tighter because sometimes
I got you.
That's my only advice.
I got you. My last opponent, she was like super tall, so it's like hanging on to a damn giraffe.
Yeah,
but she was really sweet though. She was really, really nice. I don't usually like to talk shit on my opponents beforehand unless they, talk a little bit of shit. But I try to keep it real sportsmanship and humble, unless they don't want to, and then I'm not.
Well, Crystal, it was an honor to meet you. Keep it up.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you for everything. And good luck.
Thank you so much.
Good luck at this
fight. Yes. Thank you so much. Bye, you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Grand slams, no hitters, and double plays are back. That's right. And there's no better place to get on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book and official partner of Major League Baseball. And guess what, people? New customers in Massachusetts getting in on the action with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston. And finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. I love it, okay? If I'm going to bet, I'm going to go on FanDuel. So now, bet on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 of bonus bets. Win or lose. How great is that? Okay? Visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. That's FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 and older and present in Massachusetts. Okay, your first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. And bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Help is here. So is hope. Hope and help. GamblingHelpLineMA.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. That's FanDuel. Check it out now. Right now. You want to bet? That's where you go. All right. That was Crystal Pittman.
Isn't it crazy how nice fighters can be sometimes? Like, I don't picture, if you met her, you wouldn't think she would be a girl that would fight, Like, it's
no. I'm always like, I never met her before. I never interviewed her, so I'm always like worried I'm going to say the wrong thing and she's just going to hang up on me.
Like, call her a porn star. Oh, so you and your boyfriend are doing porn on OnlyFans?
Yeah, like, I mean, that was me holding back. I had way fucking worse questions. Like, so it was like, when you suck his cock. No, but she seems like really sweet and fun. And I mean, it's crazy. 36 years old. Like, I'm gonna be a bare knuckle boxer. That's most people that have career. They become an accountant or something. They don't just go into bare knuckle boxing.
It's a lot easier. I wouldn't say it's an easier sport for women, but it's easier for them to get into, because if you have any ability at all, as a woman, like any fighting ability at all, they're dying for female fighters right now. It's kind of like when I got in UFC as a heavyweight, it was way easier than if you were a 155-pound fighter. I mean, good luck if you're a 155-pound fighter and getting in. But heavyweight, they were starving for people. That's why they tried to set me up to get knocked out by Marcotte. But they were like, hey, we got another first-time UFC guy. You want to fight him? I was like, sure.
Did you see the tag team boxing last week?
No, I keep hearing about it, but I haven't been able to find it. Like, it was on
the undercard of the Jake Paul. I mean, I keep saying Jake Paul. It's Logan Paul.
I thought it was a joke when they were talking about it. They asked Mike Perry about it, if he would ever do tag team boxing, but I literally thought they were kidding.
Here it is.
Likes to start, and he's coming out with power punches. Good defense from Nick Lamau right here. Cutting his angles, defending his body well. He's out already.
Yes.
Here comes.
So both guys don't have to tag at the same time. You can just pick it as you go.
You can tag whenever you.
Dude, I would try to do tag team MMA at my first show, and the commission shut it down. And I was like, it's an exhibition. It's not going to be a real fight. And they were like, we know what you're doing. Like they were like, because I was acting like it was because I was going to do a spinning back fist only match 2, where 2 guys could only throw spinning back fists. Because I knew once they got dizzy, it would be amazing. You know what I mean? After the 5th time you throw spinning back fists, they would be stumbling around. And the commission told me I couldn't do that either. So if I ever promote again, I'm just going to put on a show without the commission's like permission and call it kickboxing, and then just do whatever I want is what I'm going to do. So
here's what Dylan Dennis says. You ran from a jiu-jitsu guy for 6 rounds. Every interview you bragged about knocking me out in the first, but guess what? You barely touched me. Give me a proper boxing camp. Consider your pathetic unwillingness to fight. I'd obliterate you. Like, what? He didn't
have a boxing camp. He's been talking about boxing for 3 years now. Like he didn't have a good boxing camp.
Like, what? I mean, he's hilarious. He happens to be fucking funny. I mean, he happens to be hilarious. But
you can't not like him. When I watch his interviews, like I didn't want to like him, but he's really likable if you watch his interviews, man. He's funny. He says some funny stuff.
He is funny, but also like what? I mean, he says, if I were Nina, I'd call off the wedding.
If I were Logan, I would call off the wedding. I'll tell you what. I don't know.
Oh my God. I mean, that became like, so that was crazy. Did you watch the UFC fights last week? The Sadiq Youssef and any of those?
No, man. I actually even missed. I had to rewatch the Logan Paul fight. I didn't realize it was over in the UK, so I didn't know it was on earlier that day. And I just started seeing results on my phone. That's the worst, man. Of course, I'm glad I didn't sit there in anticipation waiting to watch Dylan Dennis not throw punches back. But I saw the results. I was like, wait, it's 7 p.m. How do they have results already? And I realized they started at UK time. So apparently they're on Bellator's advertising program, because I didn't see anything about what time it started on Saturday, just that it was Saturday. Is Bellator going out of business, I guess? Is that the...
Well, I guess Showtime is done with boxing and MMA.
Right. So I guess Bellator is done, or...
I don't know what they're doing. I think we have a Bellator guy who's ranked second coming on pretty soon. So that's pretty awesome. So we could obviously ask him about it. I know
they released the card for Bellator 301 and said it might be the last Bellator, and I was like, wow, what a banger for the last Bellator. Nobody who I recognize the name of.
Oh yeah, I mean, so we have Raufeon Stots coming on, so we could definitely ask him. Last week it was Sadiq Youssef, who I happen to love. He came here. He's from Africa. He had 15 brothers and sisters, 4 moms at the same time. And his dad, he's some kind of polyamorous or family. But one of the moms took him over here. And he was killing Barboza. Like, I had Barboza out in the first. Like, they were saying 10-7 round. And then Barboza came back and won. Didn't stop him, but just won on points. 3 rounds to 2. But yeah, that was crazy. And then Jonathan Martinez beat Adrian Yanez by leg kicks. He has like 3 stoppages by leg kicks, this guy. He just...
Is he kicking the calf or the upper leg?
He's kicking everything. The guy, no one could walk after him. And then Michael Pereira came out with an Israeli flag. So people were very, very angry about that. He's the guy from Brazil that joined the circus.
Right. But wait, where were they? Where was the fight at?
Las Vegas. But I guess now they're
angry that an Israeli flag.
Oh, now they're allowed to bring flags back. Like, they banned flags. So he wore an Israeli flag. He said, based on what happened in the massacre, and he felt terrible. And people were mad at him because of that. It's just like, I mean, but now this week,
culturally appropriating the Jews.
No, they were mad at him because they were pro-Palestine. They weren't mad at him because of that. They were mad at him.
Dude, did you see that stuff at Harvard? Like 32 student groups are, like, it was so great. 32 student groups at Harvard were supporting Palestine, saying that's what the Israelis get. And then every CEO in America said, guess what? You won't be working for us. Like,
I know. I tried to write a joke about it, how, you know what? They shouldn't be blacklisted, because if I want a lawyer, I want a guy who could defend Hamas. Like,
right.
They make...
That's not bad. I like that.
I did it last night on stage. It got nothing. It got
really.
Oh, it got like people got so mad. I did like 3 of them in a row, and like it was just I said,
it's great because my whole childhood for years, if you said, even up till recently, if you said anything negative about the Jews, you were Hitler. Like, it didn't matter. Even when, I don't remember who said it. Multiple people said like that Jews run Hollywood. Kanye West saying like Jews run Hollywood. Everybody went up against him. He should have said afterward, and they need to free Palestine. He probably could have got away with it. People have been like, yeah, Kanye West,
dude, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. So that happened last week, and then what else happened? Darren Elkins won against TJ Brown. He's a monster. He looks awesome. Terrence McKinney, he's the guy that overdosed and then came back to life, but was pronounced dead.
He always have the strangest facts about fighters, like you always know.
He won in 20 seconds.
12, he got kicked out of Boy Scouts, like you always have some story.
Did you see the Pat Miletich fight?
No, I heard it didn't go well, but I heard.
No, so Pat Miletich beat the shit out of Mike Jackson, like for 2 rounds. Like he won 2018, 2019, and then he got so tired that he couldn't get off the stool. But here, I'll show you some highlights from it. And then Mike Jackson was going around celebrating, but Pat Miletich is 57 years old. Like hold on, I'll show you what happened. So no one should really be happy about this. Pat, because he wasn't in great shape, but so here's what happened.
It's 57 though.
So here's Mike Jackson.
Oh, so it was MMA?
Yeah.
I thought it was boxing.
This was the whole fight. Pat beating up Mike Jackson.
If you're getting beat up by a 57-year-old man, it's not your day, man. And then you got to celebrate because he got too tired from beating you up. Mike Jackson actually used Dylan Dennis' strategy, and it worked. It's the only time it's ever worked. And Rocky and in that fight, just take a beating until he's too tired.
Or like Pat beats the shit out of him, so I'm good. I can go home now. Like, I mean, who do you think won that fight? Like, who do you think won? Basically, a guy beats you up for 2 rounds and gets too tired and goes home and takes no damage.
That's like the literal definition of quitting while you're ahead. He was like, you know what, I'm done. I won this fight. I'm done after 2.
But now he says he has to go find himself in the Arizona mountains or something. Pat said he says he's going on some kind of a ritual.
I wonder why he wandered to the mountains to begin with. That he has to go find himself. That's the part of him that left and went to the mountains. I wonder why. Did you ever see where Dana White said that Pat Miletich said something that they rigged the Nick Diaz fight to cancel, like against Chimaev or whatever? And the reporter said, no, that was Brendan Schaub that said that. And Dana was like, makes sense. Like,
oh, whatever, yeah. He's like, what the fuck is Pat Miletich talking about? Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, they were like, no, it's Brendan Schaub. He goes, oh, that makes sense. That was great.
Oh, my God. I mean, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to feel about this. About Pat.
Did you hear that Kimbo Slice came to Brendan Schaub in a seance and told him he was proud of him?
No, really?
You didn't hear that?
I did not.
Brendan Schaub went and saw a gypsy of some kind, or whatever, the people that read fortunes or whatever, or a medium to talk to the dead. And they said there was a man whose name started with K who wanted him to know he was really proud of him. And he's like, Kimbo? And they were like, yes, it's Kimbo. Like they just, so Kimbo apparently is floating around in heaven, just proud of everything Brendan Schaub.
Definitely wasn't Kinnison.
Yeah. There's another guy with a K connection that says your comedy blows. Sam Kinnison, maybe? There would be, you couldn't narrow that one down. He says my comedy blows. I don't know. That's a lot of K's.
I don't know. I did not hear that. So then over the last couple of weeks, because we haven't been back here in a while. So there was a bunch of fights. Bobby Green, did you see what happened with his fight?
No.
He was fighting my friend Grant Dawson, who was like a 5-1 favorite. And Bobby Green knocked him out with like a jab. It was like a switch jab in like 22 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucking. I know.
That was the main event of that card, wasn't it?
That was the main event. It didn't look like it was that hard of a punch, but I guess it's the ones that you don't see are the ones that, And now he claims he smokes 15 blunts a day, Bobby Green. So he was gonna celebrate smoking 15.
He's gonna celebrate by smoking 16.
But here's the knockout. I'll show you. People were said it looked fixed, but it obviously wasn't fixed. But I mean, I guess sometimes it's just these are the ones that hurt you, Sean. Right? I'll show you.
Was James Krause anywhere near the arena?
That was his look right here. Look.
Southpaw, straight up. Wow. Back in. Nasty.
Right here.
Man, no wind up. Not a big pop, just straight.
I mean, what do you?
It's weird, man.
Sometimes
it's just the right spot, man. Strange.
Right?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and I texted him, and he still wants me to roast him. He's like, "Yeah, I lasted longer in bed than I did," and I was like, "I'm like, well, at least you didn't pre-cum or something that was like."
Right.
But I'm like, "Fuck, man," and and this dude won 15 fights in a row to get there. It's just like, fuck.
That's crazy.
So,
yeah, sometimes it's just the right spot, man. I've been hit before just sparring and like knees buckled, and it wasn't really that good of a shot. It just got you in the right spot on the chin or the temple or wherever, man. It's weird.
So we're talking to Raufeon Stots right now, who's the number 1 ranked guy in Bellator, right? Or number 2? He also in his car. He fought for the championship. I don't know if you remember, Sean. So this dude was like, he won like 20 in a row. He was a monster. He beat everybody. And then his last fight, he fought a guy that kneed him that I didn't think people's knees could go that high. It was it was one of those things you can't prepare for. But now he's coming back.
His knee was smoking 15 blunts also.
The other guy's knee was crazy. It was.
Did you get that joke though? Because that was pretty good.
No, I do, but we actually get that high. Yeah, you're right. Larry. Remember we showed it before. We against Patchy Mix. I showed you the fight where it was just like the guy landed a knee from like 30 feet away. Is that what happened, Raufeon?
Yeah, that tall skinny leg motherfucker landed he landed a beautifully timed knee that I damn sure didn't expect. Yeah, it was his body frame and me not, I guess preparing for that, yeah, he caught me up the middle. I definitely didn't see it while we were fighting. And like even afterwards, it was hard to catch. So it was a nicely timed, attack.
Yeah. Like it went all the way up to you. And I was like,
yeah, that motherfucker was like past my goddamn like the top of my head.
Did you see any of his fights before where you're like, oh, he does that?
He like flashed that, but he didn't he never really committed to like, or I haven't seen, of him like that. That wasn't even in my kind of things to watch out for. One of my teammates might have mentioned like, oh man, I forgot he flashed it. But yeah, we didn't. I just didn't.
They told you that afterwards?
I didn't expect that at all.
They told you that after the fight. Oh, by the way,
right after the fight, the hindsight is 2020.
that is some
but
that's some bullshit.
yeah, it is what it is. Not only that with the fight, like I feel like I've done some where nutrition wise, I wasn't on top of it this last camp, and that's something I'm able to change. I'll change, some just being aware, being aware of things. But I passed out during my freaking weight cut during the fight, or like the weight cut before the fight. So not that was the directly, result of me getting knocked out, but I know there's something I could do better, one thing I can do better is defend things up the middle better. But something I can control is my nutrition. So
and I was just like,
I really focused on that.
Damn, man, where did that come from? I'm like, how do you even prepare for that? If you don't know that's coming, that's one of those
like that's not this. The other thing too, it's like not his that's not his wheelhouse. That's not I don't want to call it a fluke because he definitely threw the knee to land, and that's definitely an attack that he has. But you don't see him, what do you call it? Copying that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna see him, do that to a lot of people. So
no, you're only 2 losses.
I know.
And like the Marab one was like a spinning back elbow.
Spinning back fist, yeah. And it's like 2 grapplers that I was not expecting. I just wasn't expecting them to throw intent behind strikes. And that's my fault. That's something, that I need to change, I need to give people more respect. I need to give people more respect. And you say what?
You're still my favorite fighter. So
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm somebody, somebody likes me, so I'll be all right.
now, do you have a fight coming up?
Yep, I got a fight coming up against the highlighter head, Sid the Sloth, Danny Sabatello. So that's gonna be fun.
When is this fight?
It's November 17th in Chicago.
Nice. Now Sabatello's coming off a loss, right?
Yep, Sabatello lost to Magomed. I also fought him like 2 fights ago, and I beat him. He ran away crying, so I'm hoping to do that again. Send him kind of packing in his home state, of Chicago, or home city, I guess. But yeah.
Now, what's going on with Bellator? Is it sold, or what?
I have no idea. I know just as much as you know from the tabloids and from the posts. I don't know at all. Like somebody came up to me and was like, "Man, is Bellator being sold?" And I had no idea, that it was. They literally have told me nothing. So either they're in negotiations with something and they're keeping it hush until something happens, or shit, they already sold and they don't want to like tell nobody. I don't know what I have no inkling on nothing. It seems like they're it seems from the last show, it looks like they are carry on business as usual, yeah, so I don't know.
Now what now after the last fight and you're married, did your wife, were you beating yourself up? Was it blowjob nonstop to make you feel better? Like what? No,
I feel like my wife at this point, she's been there with me through freaking like my wrestling career all the way to all this MMA stuff, and like we got drunk that night, you know what I'm saying? We got busy, you know what I mean? We've been getting busy. I took some time this summer, just to like hang out with my family and to like decompress and refocus and stuff like that, get some stuff in my family kind of settled and stuff. And yeah, so
it was for $1 million, right? It was for $1 million.
It was for $1 million, man. That's what hurt the most. Like, I know I'm gonna take L's and I'm not afraid, to put my best foot forward and go out there, and then put it all on the line. Like, I'm mad that I lost out on that $1 million. Like, that shit hurt.
Was your wife like, "Oh, I would like to get this, but I can't because somebody didn't know how to fucking block me"?
No, my wife, bro, she's so freaking low. She's low key at this point now. She's like, I mean, what do we need money for? And I'm like, shit, we got people we can be taking care of. We got, what I'm saying, like stuff we can be getting. And she's so low key, bro. She's a school teacher. She don't give a damn, bro. She cool.
You guys have kids?
Yep, we got 2 kids, 2 little boys, a 5-year-old and then a 2-year-old. Now, and they running me ragged. They running me ragged.
Did they see the fight? Were they at the fight?
They wasn't there. They weren't there. We left them at home because it was like a trip to Hawaii. So we left them at home. My cousin, they babysitted them.
Now they were watching, they were watching on TV.
You say what? I mean, they usually don't. You usually don't put the like they'll see me. Like sometimes if people are watching the fight, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's daddy." But they're like young enough that they don't really care, One time I was putting Clarence to bed, and he was like, I think I had a poster of like when me on Juan Archuleta fought, and then it was like Patchy and Horiguchi on there. And he was like, "Oh, hey, did you fight this guy?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, did you fight this guy over here?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't fight Horiguchi." He's like, "You fought Patchy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Did you win that?" And I was like, "No, I didn't lose," or I lost or whatever. And that like hurt me. That hurt, you know what I'm saying? That hurt me to say to my kid or whatever. But we was able to talk about losing and why, why you just keep going and why all you can do is try your best, and the results are gonna happen. And yeah, so
you should have like a fight where you win like on repeat or something. That way have your cousin watch it first and then go, "I want to watch daddy's fight," and you show an old fight. That way
that's what you gotta do, You just keep I want my kids to see, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna see me rise, they're gonna see me fall, they're gonna see me fight through adversity. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is.
I love that, man. You just taught me a lot. All right, so this week's fight, Islam versus Volkanovski.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
man, I like Volk, but I don't like his chances here. I respect, and I'd be ecstatic if he come out with the dub, just because I like Volk. But it seems like I watched the old fight, or I watched the last fight over again, and Islam controlled that fight, with him on a full camp. I just feel like he can do it if he goes balls to the wall, but he don't have I don't feel like he's been preparing like he needs to be. If this fight goes the distance.
Yes, I think he underestimated him the first time. Unfortunately, I want Volk to win, but I think Islam's been preparing, and Volk gets fat. He gets he gets up to 190.
He got a chubby little body, man. He got chubby like a sausage.
Yeah. When I used to help Henry Cejudo with his tweets, which I still do, I said you look like someone put Matt Serra in the drying machine or something, and that got a big.
Snap! Yeah, and he shrunk.
Now Usman versus Chimaev. Usman Chimaev.
Man, Usman is my boy, bro. Usman is the man. I'm going with Usman on that one, even though it's the same situation.
You think Chimaev's gonna win, but you want Usman? Is that what's going on?
I want Usman to win. Which I don't know, man. I'm hoping, this is different. Like, Volk is going up a weight class, and he's like, you know what I mean? And he's got a 5-round fight. Usman he doesn't have a 5-round fight. He's fighting somebody who also fought at he was a big 70-pounder, but it's closer to Usman's probably walk around weight. Yeah, so I like Usman's chances a little better.
This is at 70, right? They're fighting at 70, right?
No, they're fighting at 185. They're fighting a weight class above because they get a crack at the title after they win, which is crazy. But they're both fighting. Chimaev was at 70 before. Obviously, Usman was the champ at 70. And they're both going up. I mean, granted, Chimaev has been preparing to go up in weight. But Usman, has probably been walking around natural weight, so he's probably fighting closer to natural weight, and it's only a 3-round fight. So I feel like he can be dominant. He can be dominant through a 3-round fight, huh?
Does he have nothing to lose here though? Where it's like, because everyone's
Usman.
Yeah, is it going to be one of those things where he's actually
Usman don't have as much to lose. I wouldn't say he has nothing to lose because he has like an amazing legacy, and he's still at the top of the division at 70. He has way more to gain though than he has to lose.
Yeah, but is that going to help him? Because his last fight, he looked awful against Leon.
Which his last fight against Leon?
Yeah, he looked terrible.
I didn't think he looked awful. I mean, I thought Leon had a beat on him for most of the fight. I don't think he looked awful. You know what I'm saying? Not too much on my boy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
not
compared to how he usually looks. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was wrecking everybody. And then he was wrecking Leon the first 4 rounds, and he got caught with a head kick.
Hey, don't nobody come at you. Don't nobody come at you at your goddamn comedy events telling you how bad you look.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Actually, they do. They probably do.
Afterwards, if I have a bad set, and they're like, "Hey, man, that was not good," I appreciate it, especially if they know how good you can be.
That's true.
Honesty is the only way to do it. You were just telling me to tell your kids that you lose. He did not look good. His last fight.
Okay.
But because how good he is. Because he beat Edwards 4.5.
He beat with 4 rounds to 1, and then this next round he came out and it was it was not the case at all.
But maybe
4 rounds. Yeah.
All right, Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. Ankalaev is a guy who has 1 loss, which was a fight he was winning 10-8, 10-8, 10-8. Remember, he got I think he got
to Juan or Jan Blachowicz.
No,
he beat Jan Blachowicz.
It was a draw. The Blachowicz.
Oh, a draw. That's what it was.
The guy that beats all the guys from the 1 loss is the guy that beats all the guys. What's they call him? The Bear Jew. You know what I'm talking about?
The Bear Jew.
They call him the Bear Jew. He somehow can beat everybody from Dagestan, but he can't beat other guys. He beats all the Dagestani guys.
He's like Dagestan's kryptonite.
Paul Craig.
Oh, Paul Craig. Oh, shit.
Remember
he just fight? No, he didn't.
But no,
how long ago you fought Paul Craig?
He fought him in 2018, and 1 second left. He got him with a triangle, and it was a fight that he was getting beat 10-8, 10-8. And How?
Yeah. I mean, I got Ankalaev. I feel like Johnny's been like up and down with his performances.
Yeah.
He's a loose cannon.
Yeah. The worst when he started breakdancing. Remember when he threw out his shoulder after breakdancing?
And he fucked up his shoulder.
Fucking idiot. So I don't even know who Nasserine Mavav is or Ikram Aleskarov. Do you know those guys? They
Two Russian dudes? No.
Yeah, they sound amazing.
Nasserine.
Saeed Narmagomedov. I know him. Saeed.
Oh yeah, Saeed.
Yeah, he's fighting Gafarov. Tim Elliott.
Oh yeah, that's a good fight. That's a Tajikistan guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good fight. I'll go with I think he's the LFA champion, or he was the LFA champion. I'll go with the Muniz guy.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then Tim Elliott, who he's fighting Muhammad Makayev, who's 9-0, who's just been killing everything.
I went to junior college with Tim Elliott.
Really?
Yeah, I shared a room. We shared some extracurricular activities in a room with him once in college wrestling tournament.
A really cool guy.
He was crazy, bro. And in college, which he's probably calmed down a little bit. I was like a freshman coming in, and he was like one of the guys that I looked up to because kind of he had been there for a while. And when I had heard stories about Tim Elliott, and the coach had to like bail him out for like getting in high speed chases with fucking cops. He was crazy.
Well,
we went to some fucking house parties, and he would just fucking go through like he owned everybody's house and shit. He was crazy.
Well, his ex-wife, Gina, who I used to date, she cheated.
Used to date Gina?
Yeah, for like 2 weeks or something. No, I wouldn't say like, it was, but maybe it might have been a month or whatever. But crazy story is that we dated for a little bit, and then I was at a fight, and she was fighting, and I snuck up with my friend to get better seats. And of course, I'm in Tim Elliott's seat, who's now dating Gina. And I'm like, oh man, and I go, he goes, no, it's okay. You were here first. And I don't know what he meant by that. But like, I wasn't sure how. I'm like, I don't know if I should.
Like he knows? He knows?
Well, anyway, Gina ended up cheating on him on their wedding night.
Yeah.
Right? And he posted about it. Now the guy is fighting in bare knuckle boxing tonight. And Tim.
Oh, I think I seen that with the freaking, what's his name? Kevin Kroom.
Yeah, and Tim is sponsoring the other guy. Tim is
that true though?
Yes, he said it. Absolutely true. He like tweeted about it. He's sponsoring the guy fighting the guy who cheated with his wife.
What?
What's up, people? Listen, today we're here with a sponsor for your bouncing bundle of joy. No, I'm not talking about a baby, although that's adorable. We're talking about your baby makers. Boom. That's right. Today's show is brought to you by MANSCAPED. But just like babies, your delicate little guys have sensible skin. Trust me. And they deserve products not only skin safe, but also with safe ingredients. That's where Manscaped's Platinum package comes in. From razors to shower care, this package goes above the gold standard for your body hair. So treat your beautiful boys to the world's finest toys at manscaped.com and use the code MMA Roasted for 20% off plus free shipping. Listen, Manscaped, I used to have the hairiest nuts. It was rough. I mean, girls would go down there, they would choke. Okay. I one time I had to go to the hospital. It was just nothing worse than, in the middle of a BJ, having a girl having to like go up and go and start ripping out hair. It's not good. It's bad. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Some of you friends might be Armenian or Italian or just hairier people. All right. Maybe not. But the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is a one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. And that's you. Okay. They designed this package to allow you to fully align your entire hygiene routine with elite products. We're all about elite. Okay. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and weed whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof. You can shave with less mess. Trust me, you don't want nose hairs and ear hairs. It's not good. Okay. You want to get laid. You want to have fun. You want to relax. Check it out. Go to the Platinum Package 4.0. They cover all bases from head to toe. and Hair to Ball Fro. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code MMA Roasted. Use the platinum package because the gold standard is no longer good enough. So check it out and enjoy everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm not.
What?
Yeah, but he's got a big fight tomorrow. This guy Muhammad Makayev is 9-0.
Yeah,
he knocked out Cody Durden in like 1 minute, he beat Jafel Falho, he beat Malcolm Gordon. But the last fight Tim Elliott fought, he looked amazing. I was like scoring.
Yeah, Tim Elliott is like hard to get a beat on because he's got his own style, you know. So you're not gonna get it kind of replicated anywhere. So that's cool. So I mean, and his wrestling is like, you know, it's top in the nation or in the world. So I'll go. I'm hoping for Timmy to pull that one out. I don't got nothing against the other dude, but yeah, I like Timmy.
And then Trevor Peak is taking on Muhammad Yahya, Javid Basharat versus Victor Henry. I feel like that guy's been around forever.
The Victor Henry kid?
Yeah. I think Josh Barnett used to train him, if it's the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nathaniel Woods taking on Muhammad Namov. And then Jinyu.
Oh, I like that fight.
Yeah. Do you know these guys? Muhammad Namov versus Nathaniel Wood?
I trained with the Muhammad at whatever in Colorado before. I've never trained with Nathan Wood. I've seen his fights. It's pretty solid.
What's Muhammad like?
Muhammad is he's strong, he's got good power. He's kind of like a blitz, or from what I fought him, he was like blitz combos. Yeah, I think he's pretty well rounded too. Yeah, he's good.
Good. And then Jinyu Frey, who is a part-time like rocket scientist / fighter. She's like a hot, half Korean, gorgeous chick fighter, crazy. She's fighting Victoria Dudakova, who's 7-0. Jinyu Frey is 11-9. I feel like they're just throwing her into the wolves here, but I hope
looks like it. 7-0. Where's she from?
Dudakova. She said she was probably from Russia, but date of birth unknown. So I don't even know how old she is. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Did you watch the Pat Miletich Mike Jackson fight?
Man, I watched.
Well, what are your thoughts on it?
You know, I train with Mike. I train with Mike Jackson, and I used to train for Pat Miletich. So I tried to stay biased as I could. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that Pat Miletich is still going at 55.
He was kicking the crap out of him 2 rounds. Like he had a round the first round, and then he beat up the second round. He just got tired. And look, I like Mike.
He got tired from beating him up.
Comments on Mike Jackson's feed. Someone will be like, "You lost." He goes, "Okay, white tears, white devil, Klansman."
Yeah, Mike Jackson knows how to get under white people's skin, I think.
But like, bro, everyone's not a Klansman. I would probably argue that not one person's a Klansman.
That's like Mike Jackson is the equivalent to like you playing games online and some kid calling you the N-word. You know what I mean? He's like the opposite he's the opposite end of the spectrum. It don't really matter what you got to say. If you have something to say different than him, he'll call you a snowflake, and then it gets you triggered.
Well, it gets you triggered. I mean, first of all,
it's got nothing. You don't know me at all. It got nothing to do with anything. Same way in a video game, a kid popped the N-word, like, yeah, you N-word. You know what I mean? They don't know you at all. They just want to get under your skin. Mike is an expert at getting other people's skin.
Oh, dude. But
Mike has had the craziest, I feel like, MMA story freaking ever.
Yeah, of course. They bring him in to fight CM Punk. He's
had the craziest freaking MMA story. Yeah.
Crazy.
You can't say it's like not successful. Like he's he's well known everywhere. I'm sure he got, paid decent.
I just don't understand what his end game is here. Like what's the end goal? Like,
I also feel talking about Mike Jackson.
Yeah.
I feel like Mike Jackson just in it for the ride. I mean, it don't seem to be that he takes it like serious enough to be, like a champion or anything. It feels to me that he's like, I mean, if I can get a fight, get some money, it's a fun thing to do for my pastime. It's I like hitting people. I like, you know what I'm saying?
Eventually he's gonna run out of money, and I think have to get a job. And then when you're writing,
I think that's the thing. I think he has a job. I think he's like a day trader or something. I think that's what he does. That, and then he does photography. He does photography for regional shows. So I don't know. I've wondered that too. I need to ask him. I have to just ask him, like, hey, bro, how you make money, bro?
But even like Jake Shields right now, who's like posting left and right about Palestine and Jews are oppressors and Jews suck and Jews are genocide. I'm like, bro, eventually, like, don't you want someone to be able to hire you, or like what?
Right, like what? Or what's your end goal for money? I mean, I feel like that for a lot of people. Like what you trying to, like, what's your goal right now? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I guess who knows?
But I don't know. You don't know behind the scenes. I mean, I started like businesses and stuff where nobody would know, behind the scenes. They wouldn't know from me, you know what I mean? So you don't know what people doing to make money behind the scenes, I guess.
True, it's true. Did you watch the Bryce Meredith fight?
Bryce Meredith or Bryce Mitchell?
Bryce Meredith.
Did he fought? Oh, he fought Bellator this last.
Bellator. Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch his fight. I watched. I didn't watch his fight.
He won. He was on the post limbs. Bellator's brilliant strategy of putting people after the event.
Those freaking fight spots suck. I've never been like on the post limb, but those. I mean, it sounds like it sucks. Like you're ready to go at a certain time, and then you got to wait till the whole show is over, and then you got to get warm again. Like, yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, Bryce did good. He won 10-9.
He choked him out, right?
No, he beat him by decision. The guy was tough. His stand up needs work. His stand up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, his wrestling is so good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. But I mean, what do you think about some of these guys like Bo Nickel? Do you think
Bo Nickel, Jordan Oliver? I've seen he start fighting. Who else? Bryce Mitchell. A lot of wrestlers are crossing over. I like it. I feel like, I mean, wrestling is a cornerstone of MMA. You have to be good. You have to be good there to be really successful. Or it's an easy way to be really successful. So, I mean, I like it. I think it's going to bring, the competition level up. You got kind of like in the realm of boxing, you got people competing, hundreds or upwards to like 500 times, in the amateur career to get good at competing and that sport, Now you got people from like wrestling who gets like hundreds of matches, in the amateur level, if you want to call it that.
But how far away do you think is Bo Nickel from a title shot?
From a title shot? I feel like he gotta get names. He's gotta get in those big fights. Like, I mean, he could have a career like it's looking that he might have a career like what do you call it? Chimaev, but Chimaev, I think Chimaev went like 4 fights without getting a single punch land on him, and then fought Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
So that's pretty unprecedented, Bo Nickel, I think, is on that same path. Like, I don't feel like he's gotten touched in any of his fights.
No, he hasn't.
So it could be like 5, given his name value and his pedigree of wrestling, and he's shown he's had good hands and stuff. It could be, I would say, like 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's very confident. He's beyond confident, not very likable, but he's so good where it's like,
he's not likable.
I mean, he's not likable.
People don't like Bo Nickel.
I like Bo Nickel. He's just funny.
You don't like Bo Nickel.
No, I like Bo Nickel, but he's like, I can beat anyone in the world. Like, and I guess you have to have that attitude.
Yeah,
but like you're like, wait,
that's like, man. I don't get which people. I guess I don't know. Like, do they want you to be humble? You know, people want you to be humble, but for you to obtain success at the high level, like you have to be confident. You know,
right.
So it's like, I mean, I get shit now about, you know, like talking shit. You know, I've been talking shit my whole career, and I lost at the highest level this last fight. You know, I lost for a belt, you know, in a 5-round fight in the finals of $1 million tournament. And now, you know, I'm talking shit again because I've done that all the time. But now they're like, man, you should be less cocky and maybe you would win, or be less confident and then maybe you would win. Like, no, I don't want to hope that I win.
Right,
I want to go and take a win.
Right, but he had one fight, and then he also but he's smart. I mean, look, he doesn't want to leave Pennsylvania, so he just brings people up to him. He started an American top team in his house.
They started an ATT there.
But I mean, by the way, so how good are Terrence Crawford's kids in wrestling?
Terrence Crawford?
Yeah.
They pretty amazing, man.
Like,
they freaking whatever that goddamn the unification of like or I guess I don't know, the best tournaments in the kids division. I think they won them at 2 weight classes. Or no, one of them I think won it at 1, and then he's got one kid he's really good. I don't know.
So they're gonna
like
they're gonna be like D1 national champions. Like they're on par to do that.
On par, yeah. I don't really like kids like competing that intense. But unless they like love it, you just can't keep them away from it and they love it, you know. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, probably.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool that he puts his kid in wrestling, like not boxing.
Crazy. Yeah, not boxing. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Do they start? I mean, boxing is kind of like hard to start as a kid too. Well, they got the pancreation stuff, but it's like the trauma from it.
Right. No, and then also it's a great base for MMA and, you know, yada yada.
Yeah.
Like Frank Mir's daughter is a monster. You ever see her?
Oh yeah, wrestle. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Freaking beast.
Dude, she's I mean, I think she's the UFC already like signed her, I think, to like a minor league contract or something.
Yeah. I seen something like that. She was on like Fight Pass or something.
Like they're like
that a cat?
Yeah, it's a cat. I got a cat. I got 3 cats, a dog, and 3 bunnies. It's a fucking circus here, man.
You got 3 bunnies?
Yeah, I was with my
How many kids you got?
1. Wait, I have 1
God
dog.
damn.
Yeah. And it wasn't even on purpose. We were at the park and this bunny started following us around. So someone dumped a bunny there. So I'm like, I called my wife. I'm like, hey, my wife loves bunnies. So she's like, so she goes out and buys a chicken coop, like a couple grand for a bunny, and then it puts it in the backyard. But then everyone's like, oh, you got to get more bunnies to make that bunny feel better. So
that's where it starts.
And then the bunnies come in pairs, and then my bunny starts raping the other bunnies. Like we bring them in, it's not fixed. We brought them into like a rape room. So then we had to spend $1,000 to get them fixed because they're considered exotic animals. And then people are like, hey, my buddy's being bullied. Can you take them? So then it's a fuck it. We have all these bunnies now in the backyard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. So bottom line, don't start with 1 bunny because then they multiply.
Dude,
not only like they fuck like rabbits, they fucking multiply.
Hey, there was a possum in there the other day. It was the possum. I go into the bunny cage.
Trying to get at the bunny?
No, he was just chilling there, like this little baby possum. I'm like, how the fuck did this?
You got a farm. Sound like you got a farm.
And the mom came to get the baby. Like the mom started circling the whole thing. Like she's like, don't hang out with those bunnies. It's like Israel and Palestine over here. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy. That's wild, man.
So your fight's November 17th. It's in Chicago.
Yep. In Chicago.
Nice.
It's a rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I get this fight done. You know, I go finish this dude and then I get another rematch. I'm hoping that if I grant this pussy a rematch, then I get another rematch against somebody that I lost to.
Now, did you know this guy? He had good wrestling credentials, right? Wasn't he a stud wrestler?
Yeah, he was pretty good at a wrestler. I think he was like a national qualifier.
Yeah. Did you know of him before Bellator? Did you know him or from wrestling?
No, I didn't know about him at all. No,
because he made a lot of noise quickly, but then
he did just from his antics or like how he talked to people. It's not his skills. His skills are not good. He does one thing well, and he wrestles. Which I mean, if you can force that one thing on most people, then you can get pretty far.
It was close. The first fight was closer than I thought it was going to be, right?
Yeah, it was closer than he thought, but not really. Like it should have been a fucking unanimous decision. Like I beat the shit out of him. He was bloody, and he just hanging on to me for dear life the whole fight. He was really good at hanging on, though. He was fucking phenomenal at hanging on. And then he must have paid off Doug Crosby. That was the time where Doug Crosby was just making a bunch of crazy fucking judges' decisions because he thought it made for good TV or made for good theater or some shit. Yeah, he had my fight. He gave Sabatello all around, and that's the only judge. That's why it was a split. He gave Sabatello every single round.
What did you do? I
was like, what the fuck? I don't know what I did to Doug Crosby, bro. I don't know what the fuck. I must have called him a snowflake or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Were you in college with his daughter? Did you bang his daughter in college or something?
Maybe he'd have found out about some escapades or something. Maybe. Shit. I apologize though. Don't fucking or just don't be around my fights. I can't have Doug Crosby. But yeah, I do that. And then I guess I also wait on what's gonna happen with Bellator. I guessing we should find out here soon because Showtime, I guess, or Viacom is stepping away from all combat sports. Looks like. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'm guessing Bellator has something.
Yeah, when I was growing up, we had HBO boxing, we had Showtime boxing, and it was the best. I don't want to go on a fucking DAZN or ESPN 12. I don't want to have to search out that shit. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah. I think that time when they had DAZN, I think I heard so many complaints, just like DAZN not working and shit like that.
I don't want to do it. It's like $20 a month or something. I'm not going to do that for Misfits Boxing. I'm not paying that shit.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck about
Dylan Danis fucking jump gillies on fucking in a boxing match.
That was ridiculous. This dude is the most, he really is like the Kim Kardashian of fighting. He's famous for nothing. Like he's famous for
so famous for nothing.
I mean, crazy. I don't know if he's monetizing it or what, though, but we'll see. I mean,
sounds like he is. He makes it seem like he is.
Well, he made money for the Logan Paul fight, but
yeah, he made money for the fight. He told fucking Ariel Helwani that he gets paid like $10,000 a post or some shit. But it's like with him, like how much can you believe? Like
nothing.
How much?
Nothing.
Can you really believe him?
His name isn't even Dylan Danis. It's like Mike Berkowitz or something. Anyway, listen.
Yeah,
Raufeon, you're the best. Yeah. Have a great weekend. Thank you for everything.
Yes, sir.
I love you, man.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Anytime.